to my second video. Today I want to talk about something really important for me. It's about something I realized during the last week. So I don't know yet if it's really true what I'm going to say. I will find out in the next couple of weeks. What I want to talk about starts in childhood. If you've seen my first video, I was talking about I was obese already as a child. Of course, as a small child, you don't know if you're obese or not obese, or if you're heavy, if you're tall or something. And with the years, starts a process of individualization. We start to realize that we are different than the others, and we start to find criteria that define it. When you're obese as a child, maybe people talk with your parents, but very soon they start to say things like, you have to eat less, don't eat so fast, leave something else, you've got already enough. These are small things, but you remember them and you start to think, oh, it's not okay to eat as I want. So eating leads us to get fat, and fat is not accepted. It's something bad. You go to school, you get mobbed by others. It's this. Everybody knows this cycle, this vicious cycle. But what is the logic of this? Already as a child or as a teenager, you feel guilty when you're eating as you want. You feel you will not be accepted in society if you eat too much. Which on the other hand also implies that if you're pissed off, let's say by your parents, by your teacher, by your schoolmates, if you're feeling like you have to protest against society, you're gonna eat. So eating becomes a sort of protest to this too. So on one hand you feel guilty when you eat too much, on the other hand you protest and say, I can eat whatever I want, I will do what I want. I feel this reflects very much of me. Since I was a young child, I always felt guilty if I was eating too much. Other kids never even thought about this. They ate, they loved eating, or they didn't think about this. But for me, since the age of maybe 4 or 5, I knew something was wrong if I ate too much. This is no one's fault. It's how society works. It's not the fault of my parents. It's not the fault of my other relatives. It's not the fault of the school or something. It's just what happens. It's just logic, and some people have to deal with those kind of things in their lives. No one knows why. Now, to something else. I don't believe body fat is only stored energy. It is in some way, but our bodies today are not used to use this energy for our daily lives. Even if we're overweight, we are used to eat the calories we spend, and every surplus will be stored, okay, but we never really get to the point where we start using the calories. So this is what, when weight loss starts, is to find a way to explain to our body in some sense that he has to use up his other energy. So in saying this, you might hear this is about a communication with our body. It's not about forcing ourselves. It is not about something wrong. It's about communication. We need to find a way to activate, to burn this body fat. Eating is a basic right for every being on this planet. I have a lot of animals. We have a farm. I feed every animal. There are some, for example, of my horses that need less caloric input. and others that need much more. So everyone has its own ration. It's very easy with animals. You give them what you think they need. But what I want to say is everyone has the right to eat until he's full. Maybe my horse won't eat as much grains as the other, but he will have enough of grass and hay and straw, so he feels content. And this contentment has nothing to do with losing weight or not. I'm not saying you shouldn't get out of your comfort zone. I'm not saying that learning to restrict the food you eat is something bad. Taking control over my eating habits is something very important for me. I'm still learning this and it has impacted in many ways. But I'm not struggling against my body. That's what I realized. It's not only the cutting out of calories that will make something better. It's more about creating a perception of our body on every level and to find out its needs. Maybe it's lacking minerals, vitamins, protein. Maybe it has a problem in digesting certain foods. Nutrition is a really complicated thing, and adding the physical activity, I'm not a professional. I'm just experiencing things within my body, but I realize I have the right to eat. And I realize I've been feeling guilty about eating since very young age. And eating was some kind of way, you could say, for me to protest when I needed. Today I no longer feel I have to protest on these levels. I can say openly if I feel something isn't going right. I'm in charge about my life. For example, I love the paleo diet because when I tried it, my body started to feel so awesomely much better than before. But I'm not recommending it for anyone. I just feel so great and it feels good to cut out grains. This is a way of communicating with my body that I like. And I'm so grateful for this body teaching me all of those things. This video is not really for beginners in weight loss. If you're starting, the thing I can say, get motivated. Get motivated to do anything. Try something, get into some kind of diet, because you will immediately get a response if it was right or wrong, and then try something new. But what I was talking about now is for all of those who had the problem that they lost weight and they gained again, and they lost and they tried something like I am. Many people readily say, just cut out calories. It's about calories in versus calories out, which is true. But we always have to consider, if we just starve ourselves, if we begin a war with our body, we will not get the results we hope for. We have to do this together with our body and to look what is the right way. Not battle it, not fight our inner nature, not fight who we are, not fight our emotions, not fight our pleasure of eating. We have to say, hey, let's do this, let's try this, let's not be defeated, but let's do this together and not against it, because it's the body we have. And battle against nature is always a lost battle. We think we're so much superior, we can do everything with medicine, with our intellect, but we have to find the balance. And we cannot force mentally something. So these are some thoughts that came to me during those 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. I hope that you find something that suits you and that you have always the courage to try out new things. I thank you so much for watching. Check out my blog where I update twice a week. I won't be able to do as many videos, I'm afraid, check out my Tumblr and Twitter too. Know that I have a very special feeling for you because you watched this till the end. Go and find your way. Keep on.